Welcome, welcome. Oh man, it's been a morning. Good morning, everyone. I didn't have a topic today, and I'm sure there'll be plenty to talk about. I think from now on, we're gonna just talk about whatever comes to mind. Plenty of stuff to talk about. Let me see. I'm doing this wrong. I'm sure. Yeah. Okay, see, we're having technical difficulties because I keep accepting Lupita's request to join, and nothing works. Nothing works.
No, you're not. You're doing it completely right.
Like every time I keep doing it, I'm like, I don't know. It's not happening. But
One day we're gonna get it right.
maybe not, but I'm still gonna do it because it's technology, you know? It's like I see it and I'm pressing the button and nothing's happening.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I heard what you said about not having a topic. Um, that
I
kind
mean,
of.
there's plenty of shit to talk about, right?
Oh
And
yeah,
because
there is.
stuff
That kind of
happens
does.
overnight, and we both are like, and I'm sure we're both thinking the same thing, clearly.
hon-
Um, and so I'm like, you know
Honestly,
what? I join lives a lot in the morning. There's a girl that I follow, and she's a motivational speaker and a business coach, and she does get ready with me every morning. She does live while she puts on her makeup, and she answers questions. And I'm like, she doesn't ever have a topic, and she just answers whatever questions people have. And I'm like, sometimes we have something to say, and I want to like let people know. And sometimes I'm like, something will happen. The right topic will come up as we're talking, so let it be. So I think from now on, we'll kind of just roll with the flow, I guess. Uh-oh. Am I frozen or is Lupita frozen? This is not going to be fun today. I can see it happening. We shall see. If can everybody give me a thumbs up if I'm frozen or if Lupita's frozen? Because it looks like it's her and I can't tell. Somebody give me a comment and let me know what's happening. Oh, she's not on. I don't know what's happening. All right. Well, welcome. Hey, this is very similar to what happens in real estate, right? Every day is different. Um, every day is different. Always challenges. Trying to here. I don't know. See, it's there's always something that's going to get in our way, and it's how I
also
don't.
weird. That
You
was
were
weird. I was
still
in
on
there.
the screen, and I was like, I don't know if Lupita's frozen or if I'm frozen, but
No,
nonetheless, I
it,
digress.
it just completely dropped me off of the live. So hopefully that doesn't happen again because that was weird.
Um,
Uh, no, I was gonna say whenever you talk, we didn't really discuss what we're gonna talk about. It kind of threw me off. It was worse than when we know what we're gonna
really?
talk about. Yeah, I 100% was just
So
not
let's
sitting
think
well.
about this. We're always in the flow, and I'm not gonna say always, but we try to be like in the flow and kind of just feels right and what goes right and what comes up. And I think I wanted to kind of have that same vibe because there's stuff that you and I talk about throughout the week, and I think a topic will come up.
Yeah.
And let's just start there. Do you have anything on top of your mind? Because I always do. But
Oh yeah. Overstimulation is a killer. I think I told you last night. I'm like, I just have this overwhelming. It's just so abundant the amount of ideas and things that I want to do, and like you said, it's just flowing and it's growing and it's brewing this beautiful thing that I'm designing alongside with you. But it does overwhelm me, and that's okay, because I'm pretty self-aware and I know when I need to step back. But then it's that thing where people call it analysis paralysis, and then I feel like I'm not actually taking action because I'm so busy thinking. And for me, it's better if I hit the ground running, and I'm actually taking action. it feels so much better to me than the planning part. So
Okay. There's a couple of different ways that I can dissect that. For one thing that I've been doing, and I'm sure you've been doing it too, is oh, and I'm wearing my realtor shirt. Look how cute. Can you see it? Okay.
okay.
Anyways, because I'm a fancy realtor. Anyways, one thing that I've been doing, and I think you can agree with me, is diving deep about realizing who we are as people, what makes us who we are, how we function in this world, and how to honor that, right? Because sometimes we're always looking at external factors, other people's successes, or other things that are working for other people, and we get down on ourselves. Like, why can't it work like that for me? Why can't I do it this way? Why do I feel overwhelmed? Why am like, and I think when you start to learn who you are internally, then you learn to honor how you function. And I would just encourage everybody to figure out what that is if you're interested. I don't want to like put it all out there yet, because not a lot of people are ready to hear that. But
It is a lot.
when you start to, go in, things will start to make sense.
Let's just call it when you start to study the art of you, of who you are.
Yes. And it is a lot. Now imagine you're in real estate. That's a lot. Onboarding on a new brokerage. That's a lot. Getting in a new team. That's a lot. Now I got to work and create business. That's a lot. And now I got to learn about myself and figure out that like, it's a lot, right? And it's a lot, but I always think about it this way. There's some excitement in learning something new. And if you're not excited about whatever it is that you're doing, making a move, learning, having a new idea, meeting new people, then it's probably not what you should be doing. And you have to assess how you're handling it. So overwhelming feelings can come from different things. Now I get tired when I get like really excited and I have all these ideas and it just flows and I'm talking about it and I'm doing it. And then I just shut down. I'm like, can't do it. I'm done. And it'll come back to me with the same intensity. And I learned to kind of ride those waves instead of getting upset at myself for not being productive during that downtime or thinking there's something wrong with me. Like that's the wave I have to ride. That's how I'm designed. That's how I work best. And when you become self-aware and you start learning about how you are designed and how that affects your business and your relationships and your relationship with yourself, you know how to manage those things a little better, right? And even though you may have that moment of like, you take a step back and you're like, okay, like what do I really want to accomplish? What am I really feeling? What is feeling good to me? What am I excited about? And you work on those things. Now, there's some things that we have to do in our business, like prospect and marketing and networking. It's kind of the heart of the business. So if you don't love those things, you have to find a way not to like it. You have to find a way to like it and do the things you need to do. And planning is what part I love to do. I love to plan, and I think you love to execute, right? I mean, I like to execute, but I love to plan. I have ideas, I have strategies, I have structure. And then when it comes to executing, I'm like, I'm too tired. Like, I already did all the thinking and planning. Like, can somebody else do it?
Yeah.
That's how I work. And so we're similar, but we have our energy levels are different.
Well, it's kind of like whenever you're in a relationship,
Yes.
Oh my God, had I known everything I know now about, people and how everybody communicates, things would be a lot different for me right now, but it's okay because I just know that I'm in a different season of life. And I am embracing it 100%. I will be 39 this Friday. I'm actually,
you're a youngin'.
I'm actually kind of, it's weird because I'm like, man, I really wish I was turning 40. Like something about 40 is just really exciting me.
Mm-hmm.
And I know I don't want to push it, maybe God willing, I'll make it to 40, we'll be here.
absolutely going to be here at 40. So
You
calm
never know.
down.
So
No, I know, you know, I'm a little intuitive, so I'm just telling you.
yeah. But
40, I will say there's something special about 40. A lot of great things happened when I turned 40.
yeah.
I mean, a lot of great experience. You're wiser in a sense, and especially at the time in your life where you're like learning all these new things about not just yourself, but how to be self-aware. It's kind of like that's why I say it's your prime because you're not immature, you've grown, and now you're like, it's like, what did I say? It's like your 40th quinceañera, right?
Yeah,
It's like you're
it's
coming
like
of
coming
womanhood in a different sense, right?
coming into myself. Yeah. Somebody asked me over the weekend, they're like, so how are you doing? And that was kind of a crazy question because I said, you know what? I mean, I wanted to answer, nothing I say anymore, just so everybody knows, is going to come out like basic or lightly. There's going to be a lot of substance to it. So just bear with me because that's just where I'm at, And if you are not in the moment to receive that, then just blink twice so that I know that you don't want to hear me.
So
But
I think let's talk about that. You're in a season and you're changing the way that you communicate with yourself, with the people around you. And that's going to go for business too. Let's talk about two things because we're talking about seasons.
yeah,
Maybe gone are the days where when somebody asks you, how are you? And you very surface level, I'm good, I'm great. Maybe gone are the days of like where we actually, have a real answer. Now, nobody says you got to like, pour whatever's going on in your life, but maybe be a little more authentic, a little more real, in my opinion. Maybe we don't need to just, you know, be surface level and say what we're supposed to
yeah,
say, right? So maybe that's a good thing that you're coming into this season.
yeah, yeah. And so the question was asked, and immediately I took a moment, which felt like 10 minutes, but it was probably 10 seconds. I took a deep breath and I'm like, you know what? I'm doing amazing. I mean, the feelings that I'm feeling right now, even in that moment, it feels exactly the same right now. And it's just this feeling of abundance and clarity and honestly joy for having, these tools and this clarity that, well, in my opinion, it's, or my belief, it's, all God has placed this into me, along with some other things, that I think He has placed around me, people, resources, to really see who I am and what I'm supposed to be doing. And so the question was, and that's what I had to say. I'm like, it's amazing. I feel great. There's nothing you can tell me right now that's going to tell me otherwise. Call me delusional. That's how I feel. And I think that's actually like the secret to a lot of
I
people.
think that's the vibe, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Because our delusion was created. I don't know where the word. I will have to look it up. Where did the word delusion come from? But right, as children, when we're growing up and we have all this imagination and we're playing and we're like, life has so much to offer and we've got all these ideas and we're very imaginative, and then somehow we it gets dimmed, right?
Yep.
And then we lose all that. And then you actually, I don't want to use the word awaken, but you like become self-aware and you're like, fuck all this shit around me. Like,
Yeah.
I want to be what I'm supposed to really be in business with my clients, with my friends. And you start to learn, like, I want to be, even it's like delusion almost like unlocks that
Yeah.
mindset. And you're like, I don't give a fuck. Like,
Is
I'm
that
going to
the I don't
be
give a
X, Y, and
fuck
Z,
season?
I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm great. Like, I'm going to be X, Y, Z. This is going to happen. The
That's what
sun
I'm saying.
shines.
Yeah. Is that the I don't give a fuck season?
That, that's always been me.
Respectfully.
Like I always say, like as I come into my spirituality, and we'll talk about real estate in a minute because I have something I want to say there. But as I've come into my spirituality journey, and mind you, when she said God, like I want you guys to know that God, source, universe, whatever you decide, whatever you
Yeah.
call it, the connection that you have, that's what it is. God is in everything. It is everything. And however you believe, go with that, because that is what faith fuels us to become the person we're supposed to be. So continue on that journey. But as I was going through the spiritual journey, I started to like, I'm a bad mouth. Like, I love to cuss. That is who I am. And people used to get mad at me and be like, oh, kids are around, or like, you don't know. That's just me. I don't know how to tell you. If you don't like it, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I am a very straightforward person, and I'm compassionate and I'm empathetic, but I also have a potty mouth, but I love it. Like, I think I've embraced it. So when people try to make, me feel shameful for it or like bring me down, I'm like, you realize I have gone through a lot of shit. That is not going to bother me right now. And I think that's why real estate has become a place that I thrive, because rejection, like I'm not, I'm not new to that in my whole entire life. And I've learned that I've built up my inner confidence, my inner trust, that none of that bothers me. It just doesn't bother me. I'm not going to say it doesn't bother me, but I know how to respond to it.
Did you cuss when you were little?
No. Oh, no, because my parents were so strict. I mean, I did, but not around them, right? Because my parents were so strict that I would probably get like popped in the mouth.
Did you want
but
to?
I want to, absolutely. I felt like it was like an expression. It's kind of like when you get a tattoo, and like, I love tattoos. I will just like find a new place to put it on myself. I think it's a great expression. And for a long time, tattoos were looked down upon, right? Like back in the days. And I think cussing was the same way, or like I don't know where, these bad words came from, but I don't know. I don't give a fuck. They just come out. They just flow out my fucking mouth. And, I don't use them all the time, but when I feel the need to use them, I feel like it's an expression. It's like I'm painting a picture, and those words are like bringing the visual aids that I need, whatever reason. Okay. Sometimes I don't understand it, but that's how I work. So, I'm on this spiritual journey, and it's unlocked a lot of things about myself that I've applied to business, and unintentionally, right? Never thought like, what does it matter if I had all this shit that I get, like, that it was it's baggage that I haven't worked on. What does I got to do with my business? I got to like work. I got to get clients. I never understood the connection until probably a year ago.
And huge correlation between the two.
Huge alignment. So I want to talk about being in seasons, because right now in the real estate industry, it's going to be a fucking season. I'm the kind of person that does like, I don't respond to fear. Like, I just don't. But a lot of the stuff I'm seeing on social and in the news is like, all the negative stuff about being in real estate, or all the negative stuff about what's going to happen in the industry. And I just don't listen. Like, I really have a different, what?
I hear him.
I was going to say, I was like, I hope nobody hears him. He's banging. My grandson stands outside my door when I'm on this call, and wants me to open it for him. Anyhow, I digress. So I think all the negative things about what's happening in the industry is going to scare a lot of people. That's going to scare a lot of agents who are either new, or they're inexperienced, or they haven't been through this wave, especially if they're new to entrepreneurship and they've come from the corporate world. What's happening right now is going to be kind of like rocky. And I always say that in these times, there's opportunity. And I made a video yesterday because I was thinking about that. And I was like, if you are in a position where you're like unsure of what direction to go, feed into that, feel that, sit with it, and decide if you want to start something, especially in real estate. If you want to start something new, if you want to take a different direction, if you want to rebrand yourself, reinvent yourself, make a broker change, make a team change, make an identity change, now is the time. Now's the time. And I think this season is going to birth a lot of newer ideas, a new agent, the newer agent, because we're going to be dealing with an uphill battle. And that is, and I say a battle, but hey, I'm built for war. So bring it.
Yeah. I don't think it's even just the market, and by the way, if you are, just drown out the noise, just drown it out. Feed it in with some other stuff that's going to help your business, not take from it. I don't even think it's just the market, Kim. In my opinion, the way that our industry is hosted, or the platforms that we use, everything is so tech heavy
Mm-hmm.
that you're gonna have to pivot to that technology. It long like gone are the days too of where everything or anything was manual, of where you're trying to figure out, well, where does this go, or how do I do that, or there's already platforms that are providing all of those things in one. And to build a business as a realtor in a brokerage should be just so systematic and duplicatable that if you ain't keeping up with the times, I mean, I don't know. I think that's going to hurt businesses more than the market. Like, you're going to have
Absolutely.
to do what the industry is offering now.
I think there's a couple of things that people need to keep in mind is what is going to make you stand out from everyone else, because let's just play devil's advocate. Buyer's commissions go away. What does that mean, right? And I don't want to focus on that, but you have to position yourself like, in the event that this thing happens, how am I going to already position myself to be an expert, to make people want to work with me, to make people trust me, that they don't need to, that I'm worth whatever they're paying, because I'm going to either save them money or save them trouble down the line. Like, you've got to position yourself as a trusted expert. And I'm sure there'll be a lot of agents that are like going to work for less commission and try to like grab everything, and they're like, in a sinking ship trying to go, like, that is not the vibe, and it's not sustainable.
No. There's a lot. Yeah, no, I could totally see that. I'm no psychic, but I could see that coming.
Decide. Oh, we're all psychic. We're all a little psychic. You just haven't tapped into your gifts
Yeah.
yet. That's all. But what I would say is, decide what's going to be your unique selling proposition, right? Like, what are you going to be different? Whether you're a listing agent or a buyer's agent, what are you going to do different? And think about it. Like, sit with it, create a vision of what you are, how you are going to move in this industry. And then 2, start to dive into any of this new technology that you're scared of. I remember when Canva first came on the scene, I hated it. I was bad at it. I didn't understand it. I would get in there and I would be like, I fucking never mind. Just like, forget it. And I just kept going in there and playing around with the settings and playing around with the templates. And I got better at it, where I like, oh, like, I love Canva. I hated it first, and I refused to use it. I was like, there's got to be another way, or I got to go hire somebody, because this is like too much. So I would say level your experience and your knowledge on these tech, ChatGPT, any of this AI technology. Canva uses it. Start to learn about it, because the more that you push it away and repel it, probably won't have you probably won't live. You won't be able to survive in this climate for real estate. And the third thing I would say is add a personal growth element to your business or to your life. I promise you, those 3 things, very simple, will make a change in your business and how you move in this time of wave. I mean, I know a lot of agents that came from the 2008, 2009 crash, understand that. They had to pivot and make changes, and some of them are still around. A lot of them are still around. A lot of them are not. And hey, and if this may be the catalyst that makes you decide real estate's not for me, or I wasn't cut out for the entrepreneurship, or it's too stressful, and listen to that. Sometimes you can't force yourself to be something you're not. And in this industry where everyone's fake it till you make it, which was the theme, like the first 5 years of my career, I heard it so much that I was like, I mean, yes, I get it, but then like now I'm in a different headspace.
Me too.
I can't fake anything till I make it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to fake it. I just can't. And so being real and authentic in your message, in your creation of your business, and the people around you, is going to be the key, in my opinion. All the fakes will be weeded out. Yeah. So I heard something earlier, and I wanted to just bring it up, and it's talking about, and made a video on this on the water bottle, and it's 50 cents in the grocery store, and it's $3 here, and it's $6 here, wherever the location is its value. But it also reminded me of how a flower being planted, or a rose, or whatever you want to call it, plant being planted, and sometimes it's not the external circumstances or even the internal circumstances that are allowing it not to grow. It's the environment that it's in.
Yeah.
So I would encourage everyone to take an inventory of their environment. And when I say their environment, their home life, their friendships, their business partnerships, their businesses, their office space, their brokerages, their teams, anybody that's around them. Because if you are in the wrong environment, sometimes you don't know because you're on the same vibration and same frequency and the same energy level as everyone, so you can't see it. But all it takes is one thing to pass. Like, signs are huge. One thing to pass through your Instagram, one thing to pass through your social media, somebody to say something while you're out, for you to like take effect and like action. Like, let me go in, and maybe this video, maybe you're watching the replay, maybe you're here with us live, maybe this video is for you to like take an inventory, look around, because you can make changes.
The biggest indicator would be just the feeling of somewhere on your body that says, I don't know, this, I don't, it doesn't feel too good. I think but that takes a lot of work to be able to.
I was going to say, again, you are self-aware of that, and you know that, and you respond to that. There's a lot of people out here, and a lot of my agents that are new to the industry or just new to business, and they don't know what that means, because they think in their head it is supposed to be hard. It's supposed to be struggle. I'm supposed to feel that heaviness. I'm supposed to feel stressful. It's just part of being it. Yes and no.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you right now that that is not how we're supposed to live. We're supposed to move, or we're supposed to work.
No.
It is.
Earlier you said something about finding, your identity in this business. That's very true, because that, like you said, it shouldn't be the way that it is for a lot, where they're, going against the grain. Like, it feels like they're going against the grain. Mm-hmm. I mean, I've had people ask me, do you think I would be good at this? And once we get past all of the technicalities, as far as personality, there is no personality for this business. It's whatever you are, and accept that person that you are. And those are the type of clients you are going to attract. That's it. Just accept that. You're not going to get everybody. They're not going to vibe with you.
And you don't want everybody.
You're going to get the people that are probably like you, that appreciate the type of person that you are. And just roll with that. Focus on that. That's definitely one of the things that I wish, I would have recognized early on, because you're trying to find multiple different ways to find clients, and you're trying to brand yourself and attract different kind of people, and it gets all jumbled up, and before you know it, you've lost clarity. Who the fuck am I in this business? Am I attracting veterans? Am I attracting single moms? Am I here for first-time home buyers? I have gone through all the seasons, by the way. There was a year where I was the first-time home buyer expert, which I still am. I still enjoy that. And honestly, that was one of the ones that I enjoyed the most. That was awesome. And then there was another year where I was listing heavy, and that's because that's what I focused on. And I think that early on, you have to identify that. That's what we were saying, you have to find your alignment with another person. You have to find your alignment with, what does my business look like? What do I want? Who is my ideal client? Really dig into that and figure that out before you try to reinvent the wheel and try to do what everyone else is doing. Everyone else is not going to be your jam. It's not going to be your cup of tea.
I heard something by my boy Alex Hormozy this morning, and he said, everyone talks about having a niche and being a niche and finding your niche, in which, you know, sometimes that just happens organically. He
Yeah.
said, you are the niche. You, your personality, the way that you move, your message, your clarity, like all of that is your niche, and you will attract those things.
Yeah.
So I thought that's a really good way to encompass what we were saying, instead of trying to do the 10 things. Like, there are 10 ways, don't get me wrong. I've done plenty of coaching strategies on there's 10 ways to get clients.
Yeah.
And I can go down each of them, but you don't need to do all 10 of them. And sometimes everyone is like, I'm doing it, I'm doing everything. I'm doing open houses, and I'm doing postcards, and then I'm doing home buyer seminars, and I'm doing networking, and like, ugh, God, you're gonna be burnt out in a week.
Yeah, because what I have learned, what I have learned through all of these years is the top industry people in this business, it's not about all these different things. It's really like, it's so stupid, right? Because it's just consistency, and they find what works and they stick to it, and they create longevity with that. Very rarely have I learned that they're tapping into new things and creating new funnels of leads, or it's just the same thing and it's repetitive, and then that's how they have a sustainable business.
One of our other conversations was getting back to the basics a few weeks ago. Everyone just needs to go back to the basics and pick one or two things of the basics. Right now, what's funny when you say like consistency is everything, and I talk about it as well, because I'm learning about how I'm designed, it is actually counterproductive. Like, I don't thrive in that space, even though I know I need to be consistent. I mean, at least I'm doing these lives every Tuesday. That's pretty consistent for me as the kind of design type that I am, right? That's just not how I function. But I know that is something I have to work on, and it has to feel good to me. So consistency is huge. But even in that, it's just like you said, getting clear on what your ideal client looks like, visualizing it, your business, and everything, right? I think that when we were, like you said, you said you wish you would have known when you got started, it wasn't around, or maybe it wasn't, the timing wasn't right. I should have been in the industry for a while, and I have not, and I don't, this boy is at my door making all kinds of noise, fuck. But back when I started, there was nobody talking about, you know, getting your mental health right, understanding who you are, connecting with your business, and creating it. That wasn't a thing. It was like, oh, you need to be making calls, and you need to be doing this, and you need to be doing open houses. And I get that. That's a piece of it. And so I'm trying to like really bridge this gap of personal growth, understanding how we're built and what works for us, and then how to create a business, create a successful business, not just a business, because success is what you decide success is. That's why I say you can't look at other people to see what's worked for them and what's successful to them, because it's different for you. So figure out what that looks like, what that feels like, and once you envision it, and you know, vision boards are great to kind of get the mind started, kind of get that jump start of excitement. So if that's where you need to start, then that's where you need to start. But having the visuality, the visualization of what does your business look like to you? Does it look like you working 3 days a week? Does it look like you know, huh?
Let him
No,
in.
I'm not gonna let him in. He is a tornado.
He's not gonna leave you alone.
This boy. I hear his mom getting after him right now.
Where is his mom?
She's with the other one, and I can hear her calling him. Anyhow, this is my life, right? Tons of distractions daily, not just from my family, but from, you know, other businesses, other people that want to network, other ideas that I have. My brain is like a computer with tabs open, and right now I have like 100 tabs open, and I'm trying to like which ones are important that I need to like focus on, because that's just how my brain works.
Yeah.
And sometimes I just need to have a day to be like, disconnect, literally disconnect. And I know a lot of you guys in real estate, when we say disconnect, because it's a meme, it's a joke. Yeah. I did it on my wedding day, on my honeymoon, not on my wedding day, but on my honeymoon. I was,
yeah.
I mean, I think I did it on my wedding day too, but on my honeymoon, I remember being out, and I had limited Wi-Fi because I was on a bungalow in the ocean, and you had to like go to the common area to like get Wi-Fi. And I remember bringing my computer, and I was like replying to clients, and they were like, aren't you on your honeymoon? And I was like, yeah, this is me being on my honeymoon. Like, I have 2 hours to like get some work done, and then I'll go and on my excursions or whatever. And I never really disconnected, and I never really learned to disconnect. I realize I thrive and I have better ideas and I get more done and I'm more productive when I honor the rest days and I don't do anything. And I mean nothing. I mean not, and mind you, that's not for everyone. You need to learn about your design type, how you function, what is going to be the best way for you to work. I used to really get upset at myself, and now I'm like, I honor those days because when I come out of them, I'm super productive, I'm super energetic, and I've got like ideas for days, and I can give all that to all my clients and all my people around me. And it's taken, dude, I'm like gonna be 50 years old next year. It's taken that long to realize that. But the great thing is that I have another 50 years to like enjoy life in a different mindset. So, and don't ask me. My husband always says that you're gonna be 100 years. You're not gonna be. I'm gonna be over 100 years old when I die. I just know it. I feel it. I don't know how to explain it. I will not be a realtor till I'm 100 years old, but I will be.
So just to like recap, we went over 3 things that there's 3 points you said earlier about being an agent. Can you just go those again?
You're gonna look, you should have wrote notes because this is what happens. I just talk out my ass sometimes and I don't remember the shit that I said. But the first one was figuring out what is going to differentiate yourself in this market. What are you going to do different? Are you going to implement something, a new feature? Are you going to, maybe do a VIP service? Are you going to, I don't know, figure out what differentiates. I can't help you. I have ideas for myself and I have ideas for the people around me, but think about that. The second thing is going to be really lean into this technology, research, AI, platforms, systems, all of the technology that can, one, make your business run smoother, and two, give you some of that idea and do some of that work for you so you don't have to like constantly be on.
Yeah.
And the third thing was integrate personal growth and a personal growth element into your.
Hey, you got it.
I know, it's a minute. Sometimes it just comes out my ass and I'm like, I don't remember what I just said. Yeah, supposed to be talking and you're like, hey, remember you were saying? I was like, I don't know what I did yesterday. So why are you asking me something? It's hard. But those are the 3 things I would say focus on for this new season in this new climate. Not just because the market is a little bit crazy in terms of not enough inventory, not enough buyers. And mind you, there are data that you want to keep an eye on, understand the data, but don't like feed into the fear mongering that like the industry is showing you with Zillow and Follow Boss and commissions going away. And like, yes, be in the know of the things that you need to know, but don't feed into that. I like to pick people's brains that are high performing or people that I admire or respect and just say, hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about this situation?
Yeah.
What do you think? And just, I kind of want to hear everybody's explanation or what they're thinking, but I ultimately always make my own decision because that's just how I am. I do whatever the fuck I want. That's apparently my design. And if you know me, you know that's 100% true. And if you don't know me, ask my husband. he'll attest to it, right? And I think that I make my own decisions. Actually, I already know what my decision is in this climate. It's just move forward, not listening to anything. I have plans, I have ideas, and they're going to work, and it's going to be okay. But I still like to tap in to see what other people are thinking, just because. But ultimately, don't feed into the fear of what's going on in the industry. Decide how you're going to pivot if you have the opportunity. If you're like, hey, I don't have time to pivot. I need to make money. I need to feed my family. I don't have the luxury. Then that's okay.
Yeah, that's
do what you need to do because that is most important. And I was talking to somebody yesterday, and she is not in real estate directly. She is in it in some aspect, but she also has 2 other businesses. And she also likes to do this other type of business as a hobby, And so when I was talking to her, she was like, oh, I'm thinking maybe it was a wrong idea to like start this other business. And I said, well, what was the idea in the beginning? And she said, it was like a collaborative, idea with my husband. And I said, if you could be content with just the one business, your job, and mind you, she had a lot. Your one business, your job, and this hobby, and then traveling, like, would you be okay with that? She's like, yeah. And I said, so you're not happy with this other thing that you've added. So what, like, just let it go. For me, it was so simple. Like, I'm looking at you and you are super stressed out. And it's not fun anymore. And you don't want to leave your job because you really, really love what you do there. And you do this other thing as a hobby because you really enjoy it. And you have this other business that you really, really have grown to appreciate because you created this thing and you're invested in it. But now you have this other business that you decided to do, which is similar. And you're like, it's ruining everything.
You're doing too much.
Doing too much. So if you have to like remove yourself from real estate and go get a job, maybe related to real estate or to kind of make you feel comfortable that, and then revisit the idea, then do that. I think sometimes we fall short of ourselves by making decisions based on what we think we need to do, instead of what we should be doing, according to ourselves. So that's why I say if you put some kind of element of personal growth into your business design, future plan, things will unfold a little bit differently if you just went straight as a business. Like, I'm going to tell you, like, as many people that I know that are entrepreneurs that went, because they're like business people and they're like on it, they're like, oh, I have this idea and I'm going to do this, and boom, and they do it. And then they just stay that course. Eventually they either get burnt out, they lose a lot of friendships and relationships, or they're not happy. They're making all this money and they're just like, I don't know. When they incorporate an element of personal growth while they're doing this, they learn how to navigate the space in a different way. And that's what I encourage everyone to do. So
yeah, I was gonna just add, definitely if anybody is more interested in what these elements that we're speaking of are, because element is like a umbrella, right? Because there's so much.
yeah.
If you want to tap into that woo-woo, let us know. We have plenty of woo-woo.
Woo-woo used to be a weird, bad thing, right? I remember I remember now that I think about it, because my daughter has always been into that as long as I can remember. And I remember when she would tell me things and I was like, oh my God, you're like cuckoo, And now I'm like, oh, I get it now. And like, she's just light years ahead of me. Like, her soul must have been reincarnated
So
at another time or something.
So is my daughter.
And so, I'm all about the woo-woo bandwagon. Now, if you're here and you're like, that's not my vibe, totally cool. We are all about business and structure and strategy and processes. I love operations. I love helping people see how they can turn their chaos into cash flow, because that's one of the things that I thrive in, without the woo-woo element. But I'm telling you, when you start tapping into this other place, and if you're interested, we can expand on it. Reach out to one of us, DM us woo woo. We'll tell you what it's all about. But if you also feel called and like you're aligned with us, you feel called to like work with us in some kind of aspect, reach out to us, because there's definitely ways that we can do that. And I'm really trying to bridge the gap between real estate agents and, for a long time, remember, we were this creepy salesperson from like the 1980s to the 90s and even into the early 2000s. Like, we were the vacuum salespeople that would come. Imagine like we were like Jehovah's Witnesses knocking on the door. And like nobody wants to answer, nobody wants to talk to us. Like, the car salesman, like, no, I'm okay, I don't need no help. Like, that's how we were perceived. And I started something different, and I was talking to somebody, like, we're all always using the word realtors, like, hey, I'm a realtor, or I'm a real estate agent. Like, I encourage you to find a new name, create a new vibe for yourself. What actually do you do? Because there's so many things that we do with our clients, right? In terms of how we transact real estate. So
Yeah,
maybe think about it
but
with
don't go
different
off the
people.
deep end, please.
Please don't go
Like,
off the deep end. I'm just saying, open your mind to other things. I love being in real estate. I was doing a walkthrough last night. My client is closing on Thursday. And even though I'm a coach and I do all this stuff, like I still love working with clients. I'm very choosy. I'm very picky. I want to make sure my time is used helping the right people, the people that want to be helped, people that appreciate me, and people that I align with. So I was showing a client yesterday, and she is basically adopting her brother and sister because her mom is dying of cancer. And
oh,
so she was like, I'm living in an apartment and I want to have a home for my brother and sister, um, to have a place to grow up, when my mom passes away. And so I've been working with her for probably the last 3 months, and we went to do a walkthrough of her house. And mind you, it's a super simple house. It's super quaint, but it's like brand new and it's in a great neighborhood. And it's not brand new, but it's like, it's newer. And I remember the first time I met her and we went to go to new construction, and they were having a really good incentives. And she was like, I'm going to apply with the in-house lender. And then she was sitting in the car and I was leaving and I'm like, are you okay? And she's like, I just have a feeling they're going to say no. Like, I feel like I'm not going to get approved. And I was like, okay, well, let's not think that way. Like, can we like change the vibe here? But we'll cross that bridge when we get there, right? Fast forward, here we are. I connected her with one of my preferred lenders. We got her approved, and I was walking through the house with her yesterday. And her brother and sister, like 10 and 9, and she's like, I don't know, 38 or something. And the excitement that they had their own room and she had her own space, and like they were just walking through, and just the way that they lit up about something, and I'm going to say simple, but it's not simple. The way that they lit up about something that I do every day, that is, like I see it every day and I do it every day, and it's so second nature. For that moment, I like came back to the reason why
yeah.
I came to real estate. Why? Not only because I'm good at what I do, but like the enjoyment of seeing somebody's life change that deserved it.
Yeah, we're part of the design of their way of life. And that's definitely why I love this industry as well. It's more than just placing or finding a property. It's you're part of their design, like what their future is gonna look like, whatever that may be, you know.
In the midst of this industry being about money and making money and passive income and all these things that are necessary, sometimes that piece is missing, and I think we need to bring that back. Like the real reasons why real estate agents, real estate professionals, realtors are important to society.
Yeah.
The right ones, right? The right ones that are meant to help the world and make an impact. And eventually you will be blessed in the ways monetarily. And I think a lot of these gurus and coaches and you know brokerages are all about like rah rah, we need to make sales. And yes, I understand it's a business. And that's why I'm like, when you get aligned with the right systems and the right flow and the right people and the right mindset and all of that, your business comes together and it just thrives. And you are like doing it effortlessly
Yeah.
because you're enjoying the pieces, the boring pieces, right? We talk about like the prospecting, and you have to network, and you have to, have a marketing strategy. Yes, all of that is important, but when you start to enjoy it and appreciate it for that end result of seeing somebody really, really light up at this life-changing purchase, like that's why we do this.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I continue to keep working with buyers.
Yep. All right. That was good.
Okay, so let's leave everybody. What is it? Oh, 10:49. Okay, we're good on time. Let's leave everybody with reminding them the 3 things that they should be focusing on in this industry, in this climate. Um, and then giving everyone a little motivational quote, feeling, tip, whatever you want to call it.
Thank Okay,
Do
well,
you
it was,
remember the three things?
I'm not trying to remember now. Basically, finding your identity of what your, like, you are your niche. You are, like, create your business around who you are.
Finding the thing that's going to set you apart. What is going to make you stand out in this climate?
And that will set you apart, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, Two was, ooh, but I know three was implementing the NMV.
It was leaning into the technology.
Oh, that I brought that up.
You did.
Leaning into the technology, 100%. I'm so grateful that I'm actually plugging into that. That's, because I've never, not that I've never been the type, it just, I never saw the value in it, and per se, right?
Mm-hmm.
But a 10 tenfold. And then three was implementing the elements, which kind of started before the technology for me. But I think that's why I was
Oh, you
able.
guys, it doesn't have to be in that order, but I'm
No,
saying these are the three things that you should
yeah,
start to input, but not in
uh,
that order, any order.
yeah. But I think because I tapped into all of that, like, that's how it worked for me. Not saying that's gonna work for like that for everyone. Um, so I think, we'll put that in the caption for sure. But if, like I said, if there's any confusion on like what specifically we're talking about, just let us know. And then drown out the noise right now. Just drown out the noise. Focus on your business and focus on creating a picture. Like, what does it look like? What does it feel like? It's probably one of the best questions you ever asked me, Kim, because I don't think anybody's put it like that for me. Again, that's how I'm like, tell me, what do I gotta how do I gotta do it? And then I'll answer you. I'll give you the questions, I'll give you the answers. What does it look like for you? And if it's hard for you to create that picture, then you gotta revert back to why. Why can't I see it? What is the blockage? And then that's a whole other episode. So
Yeah, I was gonna say we can go down that rabbit hole for another 2 hours.
no,
We
I
ain't got
know.
that kind of time today. We got stuff to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think there was something I was gonna say, and of course I forgot it. And maybe I'll post it in the comments. But um, in the beginning, we talked about your environment and the people around you while you're growing this business is going to be super important. And mind you, I've been to a few different in my business. I've been in different environments, and I can look back now and see the value of why I was supposed to be there, what I learned, and now I'm like, instead of going into or feeling like I have to plug into an environment, I want to create the environment. I want to create
Amen.
the environment for this space that maybe it's not ready for yet, but it's going to happen because I think there is a hole or a gap of connecting emotionally. Even though we are in a human relation business, like we deal with humans all day long, like we are, but for some reason we forget about connecting with ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Like we forget, like we deal with humans and how we be empathetic, and yes, they frustrate us. And once you turn in and you learn this about yourself, and I think that piece is missing in the business, not in the business space, because it is there in the business space, but in the real estate space, especially here in Houston. I don't know, guys, if you're not from Houston, tell me if it's in your area or if you connected with other ones. And maybe we start to attract the people and we start to see it more. And that's a good thing
Yeah,
because that means that the need is being
Matt.
fed. So we want to align with you. If you're here, we appreciate you being here. And I hope this brought some clarity to maybe what the next few months are going to look like, especially coming into 2024. And like I said, now's the time to decide and make that decision on if you need to make changes, if you need to tweak something, if you need to pivot, or if you need to just dip out and go get a job. That's okay too. Trust me. I think I've like thought about that many times in my career,
Yeah.
but I've also didn't have the support of of my higher self and the people around me, and I think differently now. So at one time I would have given up and took the easy way. I would say the easy way, but like the way that I thought would be easy, and I'm not doing that this time. I'm like, stay in the track, stay in the course. I am here for you and you and you and you. So connect with us. I hope you got some value from this. So
Yeah.
all right, happy Tuesday. Let's let's get this week. Let's design this week the way that you would like to see it.
Good one.
All
All right, Kim.
right. Okay. Bye, guys.
Bye.